I'm looking and I see a guitar hanging up behind you there. You play?
Yeah, there's a couple of them back there.
Oh my goodness.
It's just kind of fun to mess around with. Kind of a good stress reliever as a firefighter. You know, sometimes you come home after a pretty severe call or something like that, and you just need some time to relax a little bit. I got a harmonica laying over there that I play the harmonica a little bit.
Wow. Hi. Nikki here. This is KastKing on the Line with your host, Nikki. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of KastKing on the Line with your host, Nikki. And today we have a wonderful guest, Mr. Frank Villa. Before we get Frank on, I just want to remind you guys, make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're watching this KastKing on the Line on YouTube, or if you're listening to it on Spotify, Apple, iTunes. Make sure you keep following. We are everywhere, so you never know who we're going to have on or what we're going to get into. So Frank, Mr. Frank Villa, it's so great to have you on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
I always watch you on YouTube, so this is really cool that I get to actually be on one of your podcasts. This is awesome.
It's really exciting. I'm really excited to have you on. I always watch all of your adventures and everything you do, and it's just nice to have your friendship and to be in KastKing together, and just like I said, I follow your adventures. I'm so excited to have you on and to let everybody know everything that you do. It's crazy, the amount of things that you do, and especially for the kids and for people out there. It's really wonderful, Frank. And like I said, I'm real excited to let everybody know about it.
Yeah, all my friends call me the king of Facebook because I'm always posting something. My son and I, we're always so busy doing something with the youth. And if we're not doing that, we're out fishing. We're always doing something. So yeah, it's been great. We've had a busy year, and we're looking forward to 2021. So yeah, we're ready to get this thing started.
Aren't we all, Frank? Aren't we all? I think we're ready to put last year behind us. And, I know the beginning of this year didn't start off too good either, but, we're on our way, and let's leave it behind us and just keep pushing forward, right?
You got it.
And keeping busy, like you said. Yeah. I love that. And you're one that does that. And I want to dive into that. So where are you now? Where do you live?
So I live in Windsor, Colorado. We're probably about 45 minutes north of Denver. We call it the Tri-City area. We're right between Fort Collins, Loveland, and Greeley. And so if you kind of draw a line 45 minutes north of Denver or 45 minutes south of Cheyenne, Wyoming, that's about where we are, northern Colorado. So
beautiful.
Yeah. And it's pretty nice today. I'm looking out the window right now. I think it's about like 35 degrees out. We have I think we're down to about 6 or 7 inches of snow. It's melted. So
I'm laughing because I was waiting for you to say, oh, it's beautiful. It's great outside. It's about 65, 70 degrees because, I'm here in Florida, and the current temperature, I think right now is 75 and sunny, as you can see behind me.
Yeah, you need to come here and visit one day and you will be so impressed when you look out the window and see the mountains up there. And right now they're full of snow. So that's the most beautiful time of the year up here is when they're full of snow like that. And then of course, during the fall, when we have all the foliage is changing colors, then it really looks cool then too. So yeah, but right now it's really pretty.
That's just it. I love the beauty of it. I come from the mountains. I come from the Catskill Mountains, Sullivan County, New York. And it was just beautiful. A lot of people think, when I say, well, I'm from New York, they think automatically city. And no, it's not true. I'm a country girl. I'm from the farm. And we have beautiful Catskill Mountains up there. And of course, as you know, we get snow, and I don't miss the cold, and my body doesn't either. But I do miss the beauty of it. I miss the snow is, and especially as it falls on the mountain. And like you said, the foliage. I miss that. The changing of the leaves. I miss that. You don't get that here in Florida, not as much, but I do miss that. So I know that. And so where are you from originally?
I grew up here in Colorado. I was born in Fort Morgan, moved to Greeley. That's where I work as a firefighter in Greeley, and live in Windsor. But yeah, I'm a Colorado native, been here all my life. So, yep.
Wow. And now you said you're a firefighter. That's one of the things I wanted to tell everybody about. Thank you for what you do.
Oh, you're very welcome. Yeah, it's been an adventure. I started back in 1992, so I've been a firefighter for almost 30 years. Um, I started out as a volunteer firefighter, and then within just a few months volunteering, I also got hired on with Greeley Fire Department. So I've been there ever since. But so I did 12 years with Windsor in combination with Greeley, and then of course just stayed with Greeley. So a total of what is that, like 42 years that I've been doing it. So yeah,
Right. That's
it's been
unbelievable.
pretty awesome. Retirement's just around the corner. So my wife always asks me, "What are you going to do when you retire?" And I've got plans. As you can see, if you ever visit Instagram or
Oh yeah.
Facebook, I'm always busy doing something. So I have no fear that I'll be able to find something to do.
Oh yeah. And have you always wanted to be a fireman? I mean, when you were a
Yeah,
little
ever since
kid?
I was about three years old. My wife and I had a conversation years and years ago. I was kind of bouncing from job to job, trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And we sat down and talked about it one day. And my dad was a assistant fire chief in Wiggins, where I kind of grew up till I was about third grade. But I remember riding the engine in on the parade, 4th of July, and doing all that stuff. And I thought this is really cool. Well, I never really pursued it until later on. And I was like, that I've always wanted to do that. So I decided to pursue it, went through school, got my certifications, everything I needed. And then they had a job posted. I actually tried 6 different places, and Greeley posted a job. They had 500 of us testing for one job. And I was lucky enough to interview well, and I ended up getting it. So, and been there ever since.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Uh, did you go to school for anything? Or were you in for any trade or anything like that, or is
Yeah,
just
basically just firefighting. Like I said, I got out of high school, and then I didn't really want to do a whole lot. I didn't really care for school. It wasn't my thing.
right?
And then I think we really have to decide on something that kind of kind of gets your fancy, and that was firefighting. So graduated from high school, tried a bunch of different jobs here and there, tried different things, and then finally fell on the firefighting thing, and ended up graduating #1 in my class. And
That's
the
great,
rest
Frank.
rest is history. Yeah, I like that
Unbelievable.
school.
That's awesome. Well, you know what they say, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
That's true. That's
It
true.
is. You have
Yeah,
a passion
yeah,
for it. And a lot of people, school is not for a lot of people. So a lot of people, I mean, everybody thinks, in your mind, you go through high school and you think, okay, next thing is you got to go to college, then you get your career and the family, and then, but then you work the rest of your life, but it's
yeah.
it's not that way, things you don't have to have that. It's not set like that. You don't have to go to school. There's so many things to do, so many trades, and where you just college isn't for everybody.
Yeah,
And
yeah. And that's one thing that I feel that we're missing right now is we're missing a lot of trades. I see
yes,
a lot of the people that I associate with, they're in the trades. And of course, moving, I was a firefighter for 26 years on a fire engine, and then I recently was promoted to fire inspector. So that's what I do now. So I work a lot now with a lot of those trade people, and it's unfortunate that we don't have a lot of those trade people anymore. It's kind of a dying breed. It needs to come back.
exactly. I couldn't agree with you more. It's just something that it's not enough today,
Right.
and
Yeah.
we need to push that more. It's just,
Yeah.
but that's really great. Now I'm looking and I see a guitar hanging up behind you there. You play?
Yeah. There's a couple of them back there.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you
I, I
jam?
I dabble a little bit. I'm not very good at it. It's just fun to
Fun to,
hit some tunes every once in a while and just play around with it. And I actually just started probably about 2 years ago, and I picked up a few little things here and there, but it's just kind of fun to mess around with. Kind of a good stress reliever as a firefighter. Sometimes you come home after a pretty severe call or something like that, and you just need some time to relax a little bit. And so it's nice to pick up a guitar and mess around with it. I got a harmonica laying over there that I play the harmonica a little bit. And
wow.
Yeah.
That's great, Frank. I
And
had
then
no idea.
I got some of my fishing. There's a big walleye there and a trout back there.
He's got like a little man cave there going.
Yeah. Yeah. Got some
I
firefighter stuff, old helmets. Yeah.
I definitely agree with the stress reliever. Being an officer and I worked inside of a jail and basically going to jail. I tell people all the time, I've been to jail. I've been to jail almost 8 years of my life. And they look
Yeah.
at you like, huh? Yeah, I worked it. But yeah, as a stress reliever, I play guitar, piano, violin, and just something just to play around and mess with, just to
Yeah.
get your mind off of everything. As you and I both know, fishing is a big one, is a big stress reliever.
Yes.
That's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, I've been really lucky these past few years. As you know, I'm part of I call it the Colorado Connection. And unfortunately, the other half of the connection isn't here. That's my son, Josh. And
Yes,
so
Josh.
we fish a lot of team tournaments. So that's a great stress reliever for us. We have some really good conversations, and he's actually now pursuing the firefighting thing, which is pretty cool.
He's going to be a
He
firefighter
actually
like
went to school at Gray. Yeah, yeah. And I
that's
actually
awesome.
my oldest boy, he started out as a firefighter. Then I like to say he went to the dark side. He's a medic on an ambulance now. So
I thought you were going to say cop. I was going to come on, Frank. Come on.
But yeah, so Josh is he's studying to be a firefighter now too. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's awesome, Frank. I
Yeah.
mean, it's nice to have, especially do father-son activities together and be interested in the same thing. And you guys are always, I follow you all the time. You're always doing a tournament. You're always on the go. You're outdoors hunting. So let's talk about that.
Sure.
You're a
Yeah.
very
So
avid outdoorsman.
yeah. So first off, with KastKing, of course, I'm the youth program coordinator.
That's
And
amazing.
so if there's any high schools out there that want to talk a little bit, send your advisor my way, Frank at eposeidon.com. And you guys can contact me. We could talk a little bit about a sponsorship for your high school club, junior bass club, a college fishing club, whatever you guys have. We'll sit down and talk about it and see what KastKing can offer you guys. So that's kind of one thing that I'm doing as far as the youth goes. I'm also the Colorado Bass Nation youth coordinator there too, and so I'm always doing something with the youth for Colorado. And then I also have a junior bass club and a high school club that I run too. So I'm always running
When do you
someplace
sleep?
with the youth. Exactly.
When do you
Yeah.
sleep?
And then recently, here's my shirt. Let me show you my shirt. This is our new thing, Outdoor Colorado.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
And if you see, we got a pheasant over here, we got a trout over here. And so my dad, he passed away last March 23rd. So that
Sorry.
anniversary is coming up soon. He ended up catching COVID and passed away from it. And so a lot of things that he taught me through the years, was to share all my experiences and stuff, everything that I've learned with our youth. And I remember as kids, we'd go camping, we'd go fishing, hunting. We always had neighborhood kids with us. Dad was always showing everybody how to tie knots, how to sharpen a knife, how to do everything. And so that's what we've been doing for years. And so Josh, my youngest, the other half of the Colorado connection, he says, let's start a nonprofit and let's do something with this and take kids hunting and fishing and enjoy the outdoors. And so that's what we started last November. So that's why I said we were really busy and during the winter time. We had several kids that we took goose hunting. And I think this summer we actually got some really cool items for this summer. We're going to take some kids out probably shooting clay pigeons and get them ready for next season. And then, of course, we'll take them fishing. We got our fishing boats. We've actually been working on them, get them all ready for the season. And yeah, we'll get them out there fishing and do all that. And then, of course, we have our regular events that we do, our team tournaments, American Bass Anglers, National Bass Anglers Association, just different entities that we belong to that we also fish in those tournaments too. So yeah, so we're always busy, but it's so much fun. It's that, we talked about the stress reliever. That is part of that stress reliever for me, going out and sharing those experiences with those kids. I really like what I've been doing with KastKing as far as visiting with some of the advisors from our clubs and even some of the club presidents for our universities and colleges, and just discussing with them what we can offer. And I actually see that as part of that stress reliever, because it's KastKing is such a great company, and pretty much they bend over backwards for you, and they'll do anything. I mean, as far as for these kids, we have, great discounts for them, all kinds of really cool things that KastKing is doing. So it's great to be part of, offering sponsorship to those kids. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm having a blast.
Unbelievable, Frank. Talk about Renaissance man, and everything that you do is just, I can't thank you enough, especially for helping our youth and guiding our youth, especially nowadays. They need it, getting them out of the house, off the video games, and out into the real world, into the outdoors, and putting a fishing rod or whatever for hunting, or a gun or something in their hands, and letting them learn. But not only are they learning to do that or having fun, but you're actually teaching them. If you realize it or not, you're guiding them and teaching them life lessons.
Yeah.
Especially some of these kids that today they may not have someone to look to, a mentor, or even like a father or mother in their life right now. But you're somebody, they look to for guidance, and it's just great just to go out there, as you know.
It's been a blast showing, just sharing your life experiences, and a lot of times we'll be sitting in the blind. Of course, during hunting season, it gets kind of slow. We don't have any birds flying over middle of the day or whatever. And we start sharing stories, and they start sharing stories back. And a lot of times it doesn't really have anything to do with hunting. It's just kind of just stories of different things going on with their lives, with ours. And then the other cool part of this is something that I learned actually from my dad was, not only are you sharing those experiences, but you're making your relationship with your parent better, because most of the time when we take these kids hunting, a parent comes with us. So it's a dad and a son, a mom and a son and daughter. Everybody, they'll come with us, they'll hang out, and part of that deal that we're teaching is also to create those relationships and make them better with your own parents.
That bond.
Yeah. I had a great relationship with my dad. There were times there when you're growing up, I have to test a little bit. That's what you do to become an adult. Right. And of course, my tests turned out pretty good. So I think I turned out pretty well. But but yeah, just like I like sharing those experiences. And then it's kind of cool to also sit in the blind and when we're hunting and hear Josh's experiences, because I was part of that. And then of course sometimes we split up and he goes one way and I go the other, like when we're doing a fishing deal, and he might have a kid and a parent with him and they go to a different part of the lake. But that's kind of what we do. It's just fun to do. And then of course I'm always posting it on Facebook and Instagram, and Twitter. So
yes, yeah. I'll get into your social media handling, your names and everything, so everybody can let them know. But for right now, I'm just going to do a quick commercial break here. KastKing offers you affordable innovation through the best fishing tackle, including a wide variety of quality fishing rods, fishing reels, fishing line, and fishing accessories. Look for KastKing products on Amazon.com, Tackle Warehouse, AcademyOutdoors.com, eBay, and of course, KastKing.com. Make the switch to KastKing like so many fishing pros have. Gosh, you would think that I would have that memorized by now, but I do not. And we are back. Just had a commercial break. We are back with Mr. Frank Villa, and we are just going over everything that this guy does. He's amazing, especially for our youth, going over some youth programs and just being outdoors. And it's just, that's great.
Yeah, I think this year we're going to add in some hiking. My middle boy, he's our hiker. So it's kind of funny because I have my daughter and then 3 boys. My oldest boy, him and I hunt archery together every year. My middle boy's our hiker, and he likes doing the 14ers here. I don't know how many he has in his belt, but he's always, during the summertime, always climbing a mountain somewhere. And then, of course, Josh, my youngest, he's my bird hunter, and then everybody fishes. So it's a great family. It's just fun to be part of it. And yeah, so we just share those experiences. So I think this time we're going to add in some hiking for the kids. We have another friend of mine that I was a firefighter with. He's already retired, but he hikes all the time too. He doesn't do the 14ers. He's just more the flatland type guy. He maybe go from elevation of 4,000 up to maybe 8,000. So that 4,000 difference, not the high 14ers. So we're going to do maybe some 3-hour hikes with some kids and do a lunch and then hike back to the car, do something like that. So you might see some hiking stuff coming up on my Facebook too.
Yes, tell everybody what your Facebook and your Instagram pages are, your names.
So on Facebook, you can find me a couple different places. Frank A. Villa is one of them, and that's spelled V as in Victor, ILLA. And then Frank Villa Fishing. On Instagram is Fire Fishing Frank, and on Twitter is Fire Fishing Frank. And then you can follow us on YouTube on our new YouTube page, Outdoor Colorado.
Perfect. Now, usually the show, I always ask, people, what are your hobbies? What would you do if you weren't doing this or what? I can't ask you that, Frank. I cannot sit here with a straight face and ask you that when you do absolutely everything. Now,
I think if I were to take a break from everything, I'd probably be playing golf.
Okay. So now we're getting down to it. Golf. So you like golf? You golf?
Oh, I love golf. Yeah, that's one of my favorites. Yeah.
Me too. When I got hurt on the job, though, I broke the ankle and then it goes up into my knee and back. So I sustained RSD. So I have a limp. And so I always try to compensate when I go for my swing. And it messed my whole swing up. So now I go and I slice. I'm constantly slicing. So I have to overcorrect it. And I'm aiming way out here when I'm supposed to be. But I used to be really good. I was in a women's league, a mixed league. And I enjoyed it. Again, it was something to do to get my mind off of the job. And
nice. So what you do for that is do a search on YouTube for power grip.
Okay.
Or strong grip. And you can change that slice with either one of those grips. Really?
Now, my grip, do you interlock? Because I interlock. Okay. And I've talked to people that don't. And I've learned it to interlock, and it's just something I've always stuck with. But
yeah, you'll still use the interlock. It's just where you grip on the club. Just check it out. It'll be amazing.
Awesome, that's great. So yeah, we did get something.
Fishing tips. You're gonna
get golf tips. And maybe learn how to do some firefighting. We could,
there you go.
Cops and firefighters. We're not supposed to get along, Frank.
That's right. I was actually Facebooking with one of my friends. He's a police officer, and we were talking about a tournament that we have coming up on March 28th. We have a team tournament. Down south, southern Colorado on one of our lakes here. And he's a police officer. And of course, he was giving me a hard time about coming down there and fishing with them and being a firefighter. So I've already got a plan. Eric, if you happen to see this, I'm bringing donuts, and not for me.
Donuts. Yes. That's the one thing that'll sway him. Oh my goodness, I love me some donuts. I do. And it's true. That stigma is true. We used to have I remember I was working in the jail, and I was working the desk. They call it the CRO, CRO, control room officer. And when I got injured on the job, I ended up getting stuck on the desk, which I didn't mind it because I was in the center hub of everything. I mean, everything revolved around me. I had like a whole belt full of keys. I had 2 phones in my ears, answering 3 doors. And it was exciting for me. It was exhilarating, power trip, I guess. And so I enjoyed it. But every time we would have this lawyer that would come in, and he knew how busy the jail was. So he would bribe the cops in there with Dunkin' Donuts, and he'd bring in boxes. Look, can I see my client? Here's a box of donuts. We're like, grab the donuts. We're all eating it. Yeah. Go see him. Go. you can stay in there as long as the donuts last.
Yeah, he always hits me with the stigma of the recliner chair.
The recliner chair.
Yeah. Yeah,
Perfect.
we always get that for the firefighters is the recliner chair.
Oh yeah, I've heard that one. And some more, and some more.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Well,
that's
if you ever
great,
watch
Frank.
Chicago Fire, that's why that one guy's name is Mouch. He's part
Yes,
man and part
our
couch.
couch.
Yeah. That's funny.
Oh,
That is funny.
that's awesome, Frank. Oh, but all seriousness, it's again, it's great. You've done it for over 40 years, you said, right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
unbelievable. And again, thank you for what you do. And how long do you plan on doing it for? How much?
Well, I've actually already signed my retirement papers,
Wow.
and where I work, we have what's called a drop program, so we can drop for up to 5 years. So basically, as soon as I sign that, I'm limited to 5 years. So I think I'm down to what 3.5 years left, somewhere in that neighborhood. So yeah, I don't know. My wife says I'm going to do the full 5. The way I'm feeling right now, I'd probably do the full 5. But there are times where I'm like, I could probably do 3 and call it
And
good.
call
And
it quits.
it really hits me hard, right? When especially if I'm out with some kids fishing, if we're just doing a walk around or whatever, and I'm just hanging out with a bunch of kids and, I'm teaching them knots and I kind of miss that when when I have to be at work. And this winter time when we were hunting and I'm laying in the blind and because we have one of the fields that we hunt out of lay down blinds, so you're in a blind by yourself, you're kind of laying there, and then there's usually 2, and then my son, he does a lot of our calling, so there's 2 people between us, and I'll be laying in there. By the way, I got to get one of those pads. I saw you on one of your
This
videos. Yeah,
extremist sleep pad.
I'm putting one of those in one of my blinds. But anyway,
Yes.
so I'm laying there and I'm thinking, boy, I could probably retire and just do this every day.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool. So, there are times where I've contemplated, you know what, I'm good. I think I'd be good to go ahead
You,
and leave now.
you
But
know
I'm
what?
still having fun at my job. So
Right, that's what I was gonna say. And
yeah,
it's gonna be hard, just like you've done it for so long, you got into that routine. And like we just talked about, it's not a job, it's a passion, it's a lifestyle, and you never work a day in your life if you enjoy what you do and you enjoy it. So
yeah.
that's gonna be something hard to walk away from, for especially as long as you've done it for. But
I always tell my wife for about 2/3 of my life, I've never had to choose what to wear in the morning. I just get up,
you
put my
just
uniform on, and go to work. And so it's going to
I
be
miss
weird
that.
when I finally retire, and you're going to be like, now you're going to have to make a choice. What am I going to wear today?
I miss that. I actually sit there, I stare at my uniform, and there was this meme on Facebook. Everybody was making fun of me because I posted where I sit in my car with the cops' sunglasses, the aviators, and I stick out a hair dryer and point it at cars for like my lunchtime, like all afternoon, right?
That's awesome.
I know. I do.
Oh,
I
that's
miss
funny.
it.
Yeah.
But
So, and then it's kind of funny recently with COVID, we've been as an inspector. I do a lot of work from home now, and I'll get up in the morning, get my day going, get on the computer and check emails, um, and then figure out where I need to go inspect, and if I have any construction inspect, anything like that, I get that all organized, and then I leave for the day and go inspect. But it's really funny because I'll go through the whole deal of getting my uniform on, all ready to go, like people can actually really see me, and I don't know why. It's just like you said, you've been doing it so long
so
that
right,
that's normal for you. So I
absolutely.
always see some of these memes and some of these videos and stuff where people are like still in their pajamas doing a Zoom meeting, and I'm in full uniform. So I no, just have it. Like you said, it's just have it.
Well, I'm in pajama pants, you don't see down, below, you just up
Yeah.
top. No, I'm kidding.
Well,
I'm kidding.
I actually just got back from the gym. We had a workout today, and so I actually just got back right before this Zoom meeting. So
Oh,
yeah,
perfect. And you
it's
hopped right
our
on.
podcast.
Podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, in October, I weighed 208 pounds, and I'm 167 this morning.
Wow, that's great,
Yeah,
Frank. You're
so
doing
I've
really
lost
good.
41 pounds. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it's
And then
pretty awesome.
you
I
got
feel
to
great.
You got a rigorous gym routine, or is it just
Not rigorous. It's just the type of workout that we're doing every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then I'm on a different diet. Basically, it's high protein and very, very low carbs.
perfect? Wow, that's
So
really great.
yeah,
You look
yeah,
great.
and it's just real strict. You just have to be disciplined and do it, and yeah, so far
Dis-
it's working great.
Discipline is key, as you
Yeah,
know.
that's it. That's it.
That's perfect. Um,
Yeah.
so what about fishing? Do you have any tournaments coming up? Do you have anything in the
Yeah,
works?
we have our first ABA team tournament, American Bass Anglers down in Pueblo, Colorado.
Okay.
I'm not sure how many boats there are. I think there's maybe 20 boats. It's pretty small this time of season because it's so cold. And I'm being my son's dog is sneaking in on me.
I love dogs.
Yeah, so our first tournament's in March. We have and then we do one a month for ABA, and then I think
Okay.
there's one a month for NBAA. So, and then in those, we also have a state tournament that we're doing. Well, I run high school tournaments and junior tournaments starting in April. So April, May, June, July. We take August off, and then September we do our last two state tournaments to qualify 2 teams each for BASS high school and junior nationals. And so the kids go there every year and do that. And yeah, so come next month we'll be actually out there fishing and doing that part of it. And then of course with Outdoor Colorado we'll be taking more kids fishing this year. So yeah, it's I'm just really looking forward to it. Yeah, it's going to be so much fun.
What's
And
your
then on top of that, we're still doing the KastKing stuff. So, and like I
right?
said before, yeah, give me a call or actually email me, frank@eposeidon.com. If you have a team that or a club that is interested in a KastKing youth club sponsorship.
Now, yeah, please listen to that, guys. If you guys heard that, I'll make Frank repeat that again before we go. That's very important. But what is your favorite kind of fishing? What do you like to do? What do you like to fish for?
I like to fish for bass, but in Colorado we're really lucky because we can fish for a lot of different things. We can go all the way up into high mountain areas and fish for greenback cutthroat trout, brook trout. Granted, we don't have the size that a lot of other places have, but we have a lot of different species. So I love walleye fishing. You can see I had showed you the picture there. There's
Oh
a big
yeah,
walleye
that's
on my
beautiful
wall
walleye.
there. I love trout fishing, pretty much anything. If there's water and fish in it, I'll try and catch whatever's in there. So it doesn't matter. I just love fishing. So I do it. Catfish, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter as long as you got a fish
Not,
on the end of that line.
yeah, but for tournaments, I always do bass fishing tournaments. That's
Yeah.
probably the most, as far as equipment goes. That's where my everything that I have basically is there. But I have some really nice, KastKing makes a really nice fly rod.
Mm-hmm.
So my son that does the archery with me, him and I, we go fishing together we fly fish. So we have some really cool places for fly fishing around here, and then of course bass fishing, and then there's walleye fishing, and my dad used to like to take us just shore fishing for trout. That was his favorite thing to do, and so we still do that every once in a while. We might have to incorporate some tradition that go to one of his favorite places where we just hang out maybe for an evening and with the family and just go fishing. Just remember him.
I like that. I
Yeah.
really like that. That's and that's something special you'll always have, something to commemorate him by.
Yeah.
And that's good for you too.
Oh,
I've always fly fishing. I have people on the show that talk about fly fishing all the time. It's on my bucket list, something that I've always wanted to do because it's an art form. I mean, to me, it's so beautiful to sit there and watch somebody fly fish and cast that line, especially like over a brook. It's unbelievably beautiful to me. But I've always wanted to get into
I think I'd want to go down there where you are and catch some of those tarpon.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
tarpon, baby.
On a fly
On a
rod.
fly rod.
Yeah.
We'll have to work that in. You
Yeah.
teach me how to fly fish.
And those peacock bass.
Yes, that's
That
on my
looks very
bucket list.
interesting.
That's
Yeah,
another
mine
one.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not far from me, a couple hours from me. And I've been thinking about it. I've been wanting to do that. I've seen some beautiful, beautiful peacock bass. To me, that is
Yeah.
the most beautiful fish I really have ever seen, most colorful.
Yeah. I think it's a couple hours for you. It's about 4 for me,
Yeah.
but I have to take a plane to get there.
I was like, wait a minute. We'll work on that. We'll work on that.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't thank you enough, Frank. Could you mention again so everybody hears where to go to for the youth, for the program?
Yeah, actually, if you go to KastKing.com, there is a spot on there. I have it up here. If you go to where is it? If you're on KastKing.com and you hover over Resource Hub, and then you scroll down to schools and clubs, you'll find my email address there. And like I said, it's frank@eposeidon.com. And what I ask is that if you're a junior club, or if you're a high school club and you're interested in getting sponsorship from KastKing, have your advisor email me at frank@eposeidon.com, and then we can talk about it. Now, as far as college clubs go, I mean, you guys are adults as college students. So a lot of times I get a call from, like the organizer of it. It's the president of the fishing club at a college. But yeah, just send me an email. Tell me you're interested. I'll get you some information. We'll talk a little bit, see if we can't sign you up and get you a great discount with KastKing and a great sponsorship. Become part of an awesome family.
A family we are. I do.
Yep.
That's why I love being part of KastKing, because it is a family.
Yes, it is.
Frank, thank you so very much.
You're
not
very
only for
welcome.
coming on today, but for everything that you do, being a fireman, but also for taking our youth out, for guiding our youth, and getting them involved in the outdoors, which you and I both know is very healing. And I can't thank you enough for doing that, for everything that you do. And thank
You're
you
very
so much.
welcome. And thank you for what you're doing. This is awesome, getting our name out there and getting the word out there. So thank you very much for what you're doing.
Thank you, Frank. I love being a part of it, and I love having you on. And I can't wait to get together and fish.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Thank you so much, Frank.
All right, take care.
Take care. KastKing spells affordable innovation. Make the switch to KastKing for the best value in fishing gear. KastKing offers you an affordable, quality alternative to high-priced fishing products. Thanks for spending time today with KastKing on the Line. Keep grinding, stay strong, always stay humble, and always keep on fishing. Right, Frank?
That's right. I was taking a selfie.
Smile. Oh, smile. Wait. I want to do it too. Here we go. Thanks, Frank.
All right, thank you. We'll see you, Nikki.
I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
KastKing has brought a new vibe to fishing. KastKing turned fishing upside down through affordable innovation. You will flip over the best values in fishing from KastKing. KastKing is all about affordable innovation.